Good evening, Learning Journey support group. We want to thank you right now for being with us this afternoon. We're just so glad to be a part of your evening, should I say. We welcome you again to the Healing Journey, Learning Journey support group, where we're here basically to support those loved ones that have their loved ones might be recently arrested or incarcerated. Lee, good evening.
Good evening
Would you like to say
to
hello?
all of those.
Yes. Hi.
Hi there, Lynn. All of you that are out there in YouTube land. It's so good to be here on this Memorial Day, the day that we celebrate today, to honor and celebrate those that fighting for us or doing for us in this country. So we're so thankful for them. It's good to be here. It's good to be here.
Yes, it is. I thank you, Lee. We're not going to keep you long on this Memorial Day, but we just want to give a lot of things. This time of year is really, really hard. And I know there are a lot of graduations, there are a lot of weddings. Well, how about for those loved
Yeah.
ones who are incarcerated? How about for those loved ones who are arrested? They're not able to graduate. They're not able to be at weddings, but you, as the parent or the loved one, you're going to support that person. That is the hardest thing. It is hard because I've been there and I still go there and see others that have prospered. I'm at their weddings and, I have to smile. And that is very, very hard. We're inside, you're wishing and hoping that soon one day your loved one will be out and they can continue on this journey of life. Lee, can you attest to that?
I certainly can. I certainly different being at events without your loved one or that because they are incarcerated. So it's very different. And although you're there with a smile on your face and you're trying to stay calm, it on the inside it's very, very different. But we'll make it through, Lynn. We've stuff and we're still on the journey. We're going to make it through, and we're going to able to encourage others to stay on the journey too and just keep hope alive.
Yes, it's so important. This evening I really wanted to talk about how to stay calm in calamity. It's so much going on in the world. And think about your personal situation. You're trying to be there for your loved one, and you have just everything coming at you the same time. How do you stay calm in calamity? Well, the first thing you might do is say, what is calamity? Well, calamity is defined as an event that's causing great and often sudden change or distress, a disaster, a state of deep distress or misery caused by major misfortune or loss. So when you get that call, I've been arrested, you're in deep distress. You don't know what to do. Everything around you is doing like this. That's what we call calamity. Well, in our world today, there's so much calamity. There's wars, there are protests, there's so much going on politically and things of that nature. So to feel afraid right now, that can be natural. And to some degree, it's realistic. Okay. When you add that with your loved one being arrested or incarcerated, it's just, you're inundated by constant and very real threats. And I know that's hard because we experience the same thing. But how do you maintain a sense of inner peace or well being in a world that seems legitimately so broken right now? It's just so hard. First, you must acknowledge those feelings. I'm fearful right now.
Yes.
I feel helplessness. And Leah and I have talked about that before. When it first happens, you're in a state of fear. You feel helpless, calamity. You have attorneys calling you. You don't know what to do. Well, that is what a calamity is. You're in a state of distress and not knowing what to do. So if you're upset by what's happening, The first thing to do is really try to stay connected to reality. This is the reality. This is what it is. And you have to learn to filter out some things that don't belong there, because when you feel overwhelmed, you're afraid. You can feel outraged. You can feel horrified and feel helpless. Lee, do you remember those feelings?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. And it's so important that you acknowledge those feelings as that are not normal to you. And it can be different for each and every one, but there's that those feelings that you're having that feel nervous or fearful or angry, or you got some emotions that are really flowing there. They're strong emotions. This is not going on. So acknowledge those to someone and let them know that I'm not feeling the way that I normally should be. There are things going on in my life, and I need peace so that I can deal with these things. So remember.
Yes. And that is so important when you're talking about, you know, are you living your life from a place of peace or violence? There's so much going on, and then your loved one is incarcerated or recently arrested. How do you live from that place of peace? And another one of the steps that we can do, are we in some way exacerbating our own anxiety? Think about it. Ingesting fear when we ultimately want to calm down? Are we bringing it in when there's calamity, so much going on? Are we ingesting that fear? We can ingest through here, but we don't have to digest it. When you digest it, it starts to take hold. And that's when it causes you so many other things. We need to try to be calm. And that is one thing we can do. One thing is that, are we reading and watching too much? Think about it. Are you reading too much into the case? Are you reading too much into society right now? Are you reading too much into social media that may be about your loved one? These are the things that can rob you of your calm and your peace. Another action you can take is to initiate an action, no matter how small or large. Do something that feels positive. Lee, I know today was a
Yes.
holiday, so do something that feels positive. I took my mom to lunch today. That was positive. A great conversation, being in a positive environment. She was positive. And those are things you can do. Also, being around people that are positive, it will really help you, because in a place of calamity, you might say, I feel like I'm losing my mind. I've said that a lot of
Mm-hmm.
times, and especially when my loved one is incarcerated. Was it just a thought? It usually comes with a plethora of physical and emotional manifestations. I felt like I was losing my mind. There are certain times where you still, what's going on here? I'm the mental health counselor, but sometimes you can still feel. You're human, and it's okay. People
Mm-hmm.
people have that thought, and experiencing more stress than usual can think about that. Because you don't know how to handle that surge and that distress. That uptick in your anxiety. It's really something, and you have to stop for a moment. You have to center yourself, and you have to get in touch with reality. You have to do that. Sometimes, as much as we may love some people around us, the people around us can also exasperate our negative feelings. So, as we leave you
Yes.
laughing, because we have to only try to associate ourselves with positive things. Okay? You got to stay away from the negative feelings and the negative people. You got to cut them out for time
Mm-hmm.
being, because it's about your mental health. Sometimes they'll bring you
Yeah.
down to a place where they are, and you can't allow that to happen. You got to keep on rising. You got to keep
Mm-hmm.
rising. So, to combat this, sometimes you have to take time out ever so often. Spending time alone is a great way to reconnect with yourself and reality. You can calm yourself down. It's okay to get some popcorn and watch a good Netflix show. Not the news, nothing like that. It's a good time to read the word of God. It's a good time to open up that Bible and
Mhm.
read maybe something that you haven't read in it before. Okay? And that is something good. So, also being around people who support and appreciate you is important at all times. But even more so when it feels like the world is crazy and you need to stay sane. Everything around you, you have so many thoughts, you know, are they going to be sentenced? How long would it be? Am I going to visitation? Blah, blah, blah. You don't know. You need to be around people that are positive and that can keep you lifted up. It's good for your mental health and self esteem,
Yes.
which are two things that can often dip a lot when you're feeling overwhelmed by calamity and by the events in the world and everything that's happening with you right now. You feel so overwhelmed. So remember, your mental health and self esteem can really suffer. So it's a good idea to really hone in on that. When the world is going crazy, it's reassuring that you have your support system. And the support system is really good. I have some friends that I know will pray with me. I have some friends I know that will keep me up. I have some friends that I know that'll say, baby girl, let's bring it back in. And those are your friends that support you, won't let you dip when you feel like dipping. They will keep you lifted up. They will keep you with that prayer. And, they're ready to shower you with those love, those big hugs, and endless cups of tea. Sometimes you don't need to be drinking that wine at that time. Sometimes those emotions can get in the way, but you can have that cup of tea, that soothing, calming tea with them. And that's going to help. Also, you can talk it out.
Mhm.
You can talk it out, share your feelings with someone you trust, especially when you can tell them, girl, I feel like I'm losing my mind. Boy, I really don't know. I need you to hold me up right now because I don't know. I don't know. I can't turn to the
Mhm.
left. I can't turn to the
Mhm.
right. But you can look up. And when you look up to God, He will uphold you
That's
with
right.
His precious right hand. And that is
Mhm.
something that can
Mhm.
really help you. So, spending time alone is not a bad thing. A lot of people are afraid to spend time by themselves because of their thought process. So, we're going to keep our thoughts positive. We're not going to look to, well, I feel like the bottom's going to drop out. You're in expectations of the worst that's going to happen. So we're going to keep looking
Mhm.
positively. And that is going to be fun. That's going to help us because when the future feels profoundly uncertain as it does, we react by filling in the uncertainty with negative certainties. Well, what if? And those scenarios can be potentially disastrous. We have to stop that. We convince ourselves of a catastrophic future, but we can control that mental habit. It's a mental habit. We need to break that. It's a behavior that you have become used to. So let's filter that now and turn on a new behavior that's going to be where you can deliberately stop yourself from that creating that disastrous what if narrative. Lee, do you remember creating them? Well, what if this happens? Well, what if that happens? Do you remember that, Lee?
Yes, I do. But, I'm thinking as you're speaking and talking and stuff, thinking about my yesterday, just that recent. The morning started well, no problems. I got up, I got dressed to go to church, went to church. I couldn't get in the door. Now, I don't know if it was my arthritis or if the door was locked, but I couldn't get in the door. And I was like, well, what's going on here? So after a few tugs at it and stuff, I said, okay, Satan, you don't have this one. So I'm going to get in my car. I'm going back home because you have to think of different things and stuff. And I thought there's technology here that's working in my favor. I came home, I turned on my TV, and connected with some YouTube and some Facebook, and I got a word there and stuff. So it worked that way for me too. Now, I also was supposed to go see a nephew later in the day that was incarcerated. So I pulled up my emails as I was watching TV and stuff, and of course, guess what I get? Your visit has been canceled. And I'm like, my
Oh,
goodness,
woo,
half an hour from now, I would have been on the highway going to make this visit and stuff. What is this? So I called my niece and stuff and told them we didn't know what it was. So I called the facility, and the most they can tell you is that yes. So I said, can you tell me why? Well, all we can tell you is the visit has been canceled. Your the inmate should tell you and stuff. And I'm like, oh my goodness. And this was going to be the first time we were going to this location. So I had to step back, Lynn. I had to throw some water on my face and just kind of get it together and stuff and say, what's going on here? So you still have no victory here because I'll just reschedule a visit for another time. We were able to talk over the phone or so. And I said, I'm just going to go to my brother's and sit on the porch. I sat there, had a cool drink, and just was able to spend some time with my brother and myself. He went inside under the air conditioning. He said, you want to sit out here? I said, I'm fine. I sat there, had a drink of water for a while, or so, and cooled out, just watching the cars pass and observing nature or so. And then came back home a little later on and walked my dog around the block or so. And I was just fine. But I knew with that and stuff, we're in the holiday or so. And I didn't want to be today. I didn't want to be, you know, um, home and stuff. So I had been invited out. So I did go out and spend some time with some positive girls and a good banana pudding girl. That did the trick for me right there. So you have to look
I
for
love.
some positive things so that you can get where you need to be. I said this will definitely do the trick. It was a new way of making it that she made it, and it was delicious. And yes, I brought some
Well,
home so that I can have some a little bit later so that I can take away, ease some of that stress and that tension of my yesterday. So that worked for
I
me.
love it. And that's needed. Yeah, that's needed because if not, there's so much calamity going on right now. The Northeast is having issues. I was with some friends this weekend and they're stuck. They can't get back to New York because the airport, the weather delays and things of so it's a calamity in the airport. That's when you start thinking
Yes.
about things. It's such like that in our loved ones' lives. What if calamity, this is happening, that's happening? We have to stop for a moment and stay calm. The best thing to do,
Yes.
is this is a time, if ever there was one to add daily
Hmm.
meditation practice to your life. I mean, there's so much going on, with your loved one, with the outside world. Meditation is a time when you can just pull the lens back and witness your thoughts. That's how you stay calm in calamity. In
That's right.
this presence, no matter what's happening in your external reality, no matter what your thoughts are telling you, what the news is telling us, what are well, whole, and fundamentally okay. It's a beautiful side benefit of meditation. Under all thoughts, this is a place of experience, of calmness, in which we are really well. If you sit there and you close your eyes and you're blocking out everything else, and you're just centering your attention on you, not on the world, not on your loved one at that time, but on you. It will bring you to a calmness. It will bring you to that wholeness where you will not say, I feel like I'm losing my mind. You will bring everything back into reality. So every now and then, meditation is a good thing. You need to limit yourself. Stop checking the news. If your loved one was on the news like mine was, stop checking the news every 5 minutes, the blogs to see if there were updates. Stop checking social media. Bring it in and meditate. Limit your consumption of media and things of that nature. So, fact checking and posting, that's it. Spend time with a loved one to establish a support system, as we said before, and also spending time outdoors. I know, Lee, you like to get out and do gardening and planting and things like that because you looked at my little dying plants here and you came and you put your little green thumb on there. So I thank you. But that's something that you enjoy doing that's therapeutic. So plants and everything are therapeutic. Keeping calm in calamity when everything else is going like this. You have to get out, and nature is one thing that will help you. Also, it's
Yeah.
easy to scroll through our phones mindlessly, watch TV subconsciously, absorb drama and negativity. Again, I have to repeat that because social media is like the biggest thing right now. And there's so much negativity on there as well. And you got to learn to focus on the positive things and not too much of the same things. Go for variety, something different. When you go outside, if you go for a walk, exercising is good to maintain that calmness. Go in a
Yes.
different direction. Don't go in
Hmm.
the same route all the time because then you know what to expect. Go in the different direction. And that is also going to help you maintain something different, a different view. It's widening and broadening your view and exposing you to something different. It's all about balance. Remember that. Adapting your self care practices based on what you're going through. That's how you keep calm in calamity. Balance,
Hmm.
eating right, trying to get that sleep. Well, I can't sleep. You know what? Count backwards from 1,000. You'll be so confused with those numbers. It can induce sleep. Also, some calming tea that can help you as well. When you establish those good self care practices during the times when you feel so overwhelmed, reach out when you need help. And if not, try to get professional help. If you feel like you're too edgy right now, I really need to talk with someone. I'm a licensed mental health counselor, and I know that talk therapy can help you through the calamity in your life and keep you calm. And these are the things that maybe it's time to do that. If you feel that the support system isn't working, the self-care techniques aren't working, that's, something. And, another thing that we want to leave you with is the Bible doesn't always promise believers peace and joy. That you're going to go through some
That's right.
trials and tribulations. You're going to go through. But God said, I will be with you always. And when the whole world goes crazy, God's people can remain sane by knowing that all things are under God's righteous, sovereign control. All things, not some, all things. He holds this world in his hand. There is nobody more powerful than him. So remember that. That is important. And I feel that you will make it through. And I'm going to leave you with this Bible verse. It is Philippians 4:6-7. Do not be anxious about anything, but in everything by prayer and supplication with thanksgiving, let your requests be made known to God. And the peace of God, which
The
surpasses
peace.
all my understanding, will guard your hearts and your minds in Christ Jesus. Remember that the peace of God, which surpasses all my understanding, because I don't understand, but his peace will fulfill you and it'll guard your heart. And that is so important. Look up, and he will keep you in perfect peace if your mind is stayed on him. Lee, would you like to add
Hmm.
anything?
Just, I like that you're talking about that because you have to protect yourself, and that heart and that mind is a part of you. So you have to stay at a place of peace so that you can deal with those things that are important to you. And I know you have spoken from time to time, and I just like listening to it. And I have to hear it over and over. Sometimes we have to hear things over and over and over. And I've heard you
Mhm.
spoke about mindful meditation and stuff where
Yes.
you have to stop judging and saying
Mhm.
things or, it's this or it's that and stuff, but focus on, certain things and stuff. So I thank you for that, Lynn, because you just don't know how you helped me along the way. And I do appreciate you. You know I love you, girl.
I love you too, because Lee, if it wouldn't have been for you, I wouldn't be here today. You came right at the time when I needed you. You were that support system because you had walked a mile in those shoes. So that's why we're here. We want to help those who are going
That's it.
through this journey. We are learning on the journey. It is the healing journey, but we like to call it the learning journey. We
Mhm.
are helping you. We're here. We have several,
Yeah.
several ways that we have an organization. We're a nonprofit 501c3 organization. So, God put this on our hearts and we're like, okay, all right, at this stage in our life, God gave us this purpose. You know how you feel you could sit back and relax? Well, we can't do that because this was purpose for our
Mhm.
lives. So God is
Mhm.
making a bridge where we feel like we're sinking sometimes. He's that bridge that's upholding us. Look at our website. We
That's right.
try to give you information. And that is so important. We do have a patent sip coming up, and we would like to invite you to that. That is on July 20th. It's going to be on the Facebook page, and it's also going to be it's already on our events on ourlessonslearned.org. That is on our website under events. We also have our first golf tournament coming up. That is on Thursday, November the 7th. So we are very excited about what's happening with the organization. We are meeting, we are greeting, we're out in the community. We have people calling us. We're excited about helping you. So help us help you. Let us know how we can help you. That is what we're here for, whether it be prayer, mental health, ministering to you. You let us know, just supporting you, just listening. Sometimes you don't want anybody to say anything. You get that cup of tea and I'll just listen while you sip that tea and talk what's on your mind. These are the things that Lee and I are here for. So we just thank you. We hope that you have a very good evening. Again, we thank you for allowing us to come into your midst and your private space here. And we just thank God for the opportunity to do that. And we keep you all in our prayers because we're on this journey together. And remember, God is all in his control. He's still in the miracle working business. Don't ever forget that.
Yes, he is.
When man says
Mhm.
no, God can say yes. So we never know. When it seems like it's impossible, that's when God does his best work. So keep believing, keep hopeful, keep positive, and we will see you in 2 weeks. Lee?
We've mentioned the website for our lessons learned a time or two, but I don't know if we've ever if we've ever given anyone the phone number to call us if they needed to call us or if they feel like they want to call us. So how about if we give them that number as well as the website, the website so that they can be in touch with us. And that website
That's it.
again is ourlessonslearned.org. That's our website. And there's a place on there that you can contact us. And if you have any questions, any thoughts or so that we didn't bring out or express, you can certainly give us that, leave that information. We want to address it. We want to get with you. We want you to be on this. We want to be on the journey with you and want you on the journey with us so that we can share. And also the phone number, if you need to call, so you want to leave a message there. So give us a call at 407 720 8761. Now, Lynn, I always need you to confirm that because I mess it up every time. But is it correct? 407
It's
seven
on the
two
website.
zero 8761,
Mhm. They can get
and
it
it's
on the
on.
web.
We
It's
have
on
you
our
now.
website and our email
Okay.
address. I'm just gonna, our email
Okay. Very
address is
good.
on there as well. And it is, the phone number is 407 720 8761. So remember that.
Mhm.
Ourlessonslearned.org. And you'll see what we're doing in the community. And please come out and come to our sip and paint. It's going to be an afternoon from 4 to 7 on July 20th. And it's going to be an afternoon of just fun. And it's right on West Colonial. And we're going to have fun. Going to get to greet and meet you. And you'll understand about this community organization. So, anyway, we thank you. We celebrate you. We support you. And until we see you again, have a great evening and enjoy the rest of this holiday. God bless. Bye bye.
Yes.